Legos. Just hearing the name may bring back one or two childhood memories, or maybe it simply just reminds you of work, like the case of Jessica Linkletter. This phenomenal educator's job is centered around those plastic construction toys. They've built Jessica's career and are building the future. Meet Jessica Linkletter, who's building blocks of learning, innovation, and creativity with Legos at the Greensboro Science Center.
I've seen kids go from never touching a robot to programming it in the same hour.
Whether you're 5 or 14 or even as old as me, Linkletter can teach you the ins and outs of robotics.
So you can press that play button, and then we're going to put our hand in front of it, and put your hand in front of it again, and it'll stop.
Lessons you take from building the robot and playing with the robot are much more applicable than the actual Legos connecting to themselves and programming the motors. My students learn perseverance and trying and failing over and over and over again.
Robot failure can happen from time to time.
Motion control. You heard no. Motion control. Motion control.
Linkletter says failures produce the best scientists, and as long as science is a part of the job, she's all in.
I was going to go into middle school science. I went all the way through the program, really loved it, but I also really loved informal science.
For Linkletter, she says teaching in the traditional classroom was hard at times, simply because she couldn't hear. Jessica is deaf in her right ear.
When I lost my hearing was when I was 18, and I was kind of in the beginning of my college career trying to figure out what I was going to go with.
Jessica wanted to teach science, but struggled finding the right place until she landed here at the Greensboro Science Center.
You can press that button, and you got 15 points.
Wow. It's even given her the opportunity to not only teach, but to help young minds overcome challenges.
But I had a student recently who just got kind of overwhelmed by everything, and the class was really loud. The Legos are always really loud. So we took a moment and did like a quiet Lego challenge where we had to be as quiet as possible to take apart the Legos, and everybody kind of stepped in and helped that student kind of decompress a little bit. I actually had a student that started with me when he was 10, and he's now a volunteer with us and helps our robotics teams. He was on my team for 3 years, and now he's a volunteer underneath me.
She's constructed robots and simple machines for 5 years while inspiring the next generation of scientists.
It's really exciting to see them make these connections to a STEM field that they may not get a lot of experience with.
I thought it was so amazing when she talked about how because of her disability, she's able to be more inclusive. For being at the Greensboro Science Center, you're not in a traditional classroom, so you can get anybody that can kind of show up there. And so with that, because of her disability, she understands when people have sensory issues or some other, disability, she's able to find ways to adapt in her lessons.
What I love about it is I am not good at science or math, right? And so to me that goes, oh, well, I can try something. And if I fail, that's okay, but she's gonna help me get on the right path, and I'm gonna eventually be able to do something. It takes the scariness out of science to me.
You had me at Lego. Could have just stopped right there. I love Legos, but when I was a kid, I was obsessed with robots. So I always wanted to build my own robot, and this is perfect for it. And my third oldest is into science like I was, so he'll be there, I'm sure.
I wonder what the Legos people, thought when they first invented Legos. I wonder if they had any idea that there's simple invention of a kid's toy would lead to this type of...
In movies.
Yeah.
I mean, a kid's toy that bemes a movie. That's...
Yeah.
And the bane of every parent's existence at 3 o'clock in the morning when they step on them.
Oh, yeah, they're so little. It's so funny, all of those different machines, she's like, her 5-year-olds have made them. So we're not talking older age, we're talking young children. She'll just show them the instructions and she lets them sit for 20 minutes or whatever, and they're just putting all the pieces together.
Love that. I don't have the patience for the big projects,
Right.
My little ADHD mind can't handle it.
You're more of a Lincoln Logs kind of guy. Huh?
Oh my gosh. But did you guys not have Legos growing up?
Absolutely.
I
mean, I did too.
It's great that, when you can find a toy that spans generations too. I mean, how many really do that?
Very, very few this day and age with technology and such.
Right.
It's true. For sure. I want to go out and buy some.